Welcome. Shades of Clarity channel. How's everybody doing? Okay, little update. So I went and saw the lawyer, and by the way, thank you for all the well-wishing and if there are prayers and positive energy coming my way. I think it went okay. He wants me to come back in June after I have a year. That'll be on the 23rd of June. And I found out I have an outstanding debt to him for $1,000. Apparently he never tried to collect it, so I'll have to go back. He wants chips, he wants to make sure I have a sponsor in place, all that kind of thing, and then go see him, and then he's going to make a call to the DMV to see if they have a policy of having if you can have the minimum 18 months of sobriety as a minimum before they'll give you your blow and go back on a violation. Anyway, I want to get that out of the way. Thank you very much for all that. So, story time today. Back to rehab. That's right. We're going back. Same old place, same old story. Fell off. This was the beginning of that 2016 going into 2017. In 2017, I just couldn't seem to stop relapsing. And for the person who decided after this last relapse to get some help and go into treatment, my hat goes off to you, my friend. I know you'll do well, and I think it was definitely time that you considered doing that, and I'm proud of you, and I'm glad you did it. Okay, so in 2016 of November, I went back to this treatment center. This is before they built the separate detox unit. So detox, and then after you got through detox, they put you off-site in these houses, and a van would take you after you ate dinner in the evening. The van would take you to these houses, and there you could order Chinese food or pizza or whatever. It was one of the privileges of living off the site. And then in the morning, about 5 o'clock, they would bring you back to the facility, and that's where you did your classes and everything. Once they built the separate detox unit, you just stayed over there until they moved you over. And then you just walked over. So I land in the detox building. It's called Hilton Hall because it was a nicer area. It looked a lot like a decent motel, really, because it was a newer part. They were going to add another wing, and they decided against it. This place has been around since like the late 70s, but this was a better wing that they added. So I go in there, I'm putting my stuff away. My roommate's there laying on the bed. He gets up. He's got these really dark, like little circular, oval glasses on. He's like, hey man, when's your birthday? I'm like, I think I may have told this story before, but it probably needs a retelling. I'm like, why do you want to know? He's like, oh, I'm just curious. I think his name, Ron. That's not his real name. But Ron says, oh, it's just something to do. I just like to memorize people's birthdays. So I told him what my birthday was. This guy had to have been an autistic savant. I mean, brilliant. He could do all these crazy mathematical calculations in his head. And we started palling around everywhere, and he knew every birth date of every person, including the staff in the facility. People would test him. Hey Ron, when's my birthday? 4/7/78. Hey Ron, when's my birthday? 2/4/83. He just knew it. It was crazy, and he had this little list that had all these. He would write it down. If you told him when your birthday was, out came the list, and he would start writing down. Put your birthday down in there. You couldn't look at it. He wouldn't let anybody look at the list. You're like, hey, can I see the list? No. Sacred. I don't know. Because he definitely had some quirks, and normally he said I was his fourth roommate. Now, usually you only have one roommate or maybe 2 before you're out of detox, and then they would move you to these houses. He said I was either his 4th or 5th roommate, and he had been there at least 3.5 weeks, going on a month, and they had no plan to send him out of there. And the consensus was, we can't put this guy, he's going to drive people crazy because he was weird. I mean, he was harmless, but he was really strange. And I saw him out on the soccer field one day, you know, kicking the soccer ball around with these guys. He had taken his glasses off. I hadn't even seen him with his glasses off. He had a beard and this hat, like a military style, one of those, what do they call it, a commando hat or whatever. He looked like Castro. And he took his glasses off, and I didn't even see his eyes, and he had these really dark black eyes that were really, really small. And he's out there kicking the soccer ball around, and he had skills, and he was strong. I mean, he was arm wrestling people and just beating them. And this guy was probably only like 5'8", 5'9", like not tall at all. He just had like this, I don't know, idiot savant strength. But it was just amazing, like with this guy, like the calculations he said in his part-time. He'd never been to college, but he tutored people in biology and chemistry, and had been busted. He crashed a car huffing duster. That stuff you clean your keyboard off with on your computer. And it was just crazy, you know. People were always challenging him about his birthday, and every new person that came, you know, he would memorize that birthday, and he was never wrong. Never. He was never ever wrong. And one day we were walking around, and he noticed that they were doing some work on the side of this. You could walk the perimeter of the building that had a sidewalk, and there was a part they were doing some maintenance to the sidewalk on the concrete. And there was a piece of PVC that was really, really thin, like it had like a little orange flag type thing on it that is stuck in the ground. He goes, "Let's make a sundial." I'm like, all right. He's like looking up, because he said he had also done some surveying work. And, you know, he's like taking measurements and doing all this kind of stuff, looking at the sun. And he is right. He says, "Can somebody give me a piece of pen and paper?" And he's writing things down. I don't know what kind of calculations he was doing, you know. He's looking at the sky, doing this weird stuff, man. He gets like these rocks, and for the main part of the sundial, it'll reflect the sun's rays. And you put the stones, you know, at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and put the piece of PVC in the ground, and people were looking over, wondering what the hell those guys doing over there. And then we just left it there, and then came back later, and it was pretty accurate. I think that evening, like we were out walking the yard, as it were, near the smoking area and everything, and I think it was pushing 6 o'clock. Yeah, the shadow was pretty close to the rock that was like in the 6 o'clock position. It was crazy, man. Like I said, I'd probably add that to the book when I start getting back on that. But I just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse to, you know, never be afraid to go to rehab when it's time. I mean, you'll know when it's time. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you're just plain damn sick and you need treatment, and you feel, or you've never been exposed to maybe a 12-step program, which they do want you to follow when you're in there, and there are meetings that you go to. If you've never been exposed to recovery, it's a good idea to do like a 28-day program at least once. I've done it twice, and then the other times were just detoxes. But there's nothing to be scary about it. You'll meet people that you like. Of course, there's people that you'll meet that you won't like. But for the most part, everybody's chill, cool. Everybody's there for whatever their drug of choice is. There were more opiate addicted people there than the alcoholics. I was one of the younger alcoholics. Most of the alcoholics were a lot older. And then there was sort of an in-between group, maybe some benzo people. about it. He was the only one I'd ever known that had been sent there because he had hit a car, crashed on, smashed out of his head on Duster. But just thought I'd drop a little story there about rehab. I hadn't been posting all that frequently. Got a lot going on. I've been working a lot. Still trying to find another job. Got to get that driving license back, man. But as always, like and subscribe. Check out some of my other channels. Hit the notification bell so you're aware of the dope content that I am dropping when it drops. And as always, stay tuned. Come back. See you clowns later.